The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our Sharpie and we're gonna start to make the buildings for our little cityscapes. Now look at his buildings. James Rizzi put faces on his buildings. They're silly. They're not really straight lines. So don't worry about being perfectly straight with your lines. You don't need to use a ruler or anything. I'm going to use a Sharpie first. You're going to start on one side of the paper. You're going to make a line out and then down. Now some of his buildings look like they're behind one another. So to do that, we're going to start at the top. Start at that top line. You're going to make a line up, over, and down to the bottom. Now you can make your buildings really tall or short. You can alternate from here. You're just gonna go, you don't have to make another line up. You're just gonna start wherever high you want the building, over, down. This one is gonna look like it's behind again. This one might be tall and skinny. You're starting on the roof of the building. This makes it look like some buildings are behind and some are in front. If you want to add another extra building that's really behind both of these, you can do that as well by just starting at the top of one of your buildings, over, and come down. So you're just stopping when you get to that other building. You're not going all the way through or down. Now that you have all your buildings, you can make some of the different designs he does with the tops of the building. So see all of these different designs. Some of them you can do just a straight line over and some lines down. You could make some triangles on the top. You can make a different design by just putting a line over and doing a zigzag. We'll do some curve lines. What else can we do? You can make some squares on the top to look like a castle. You can repeat patterns. So each one, make a little design for the top of it. And then here comes the fun part. You're gonna be adding in some faces and then some windows and decorations all on each one of your buildings. Now I'm gonna show you one of his original pictures and you can look at the different faces. Some of them look like a kitty cat, some of them look angry, some of them have two different shapes. And you can look at the different mouths. You can make up your own mouths and eyes and noses. But on each one of these, I want you to think of a different face that you want to do. So he made squares. Most of his eyes are squares or rectangles, and that's like the shapes of the windows. That's why they blend in. So again, they don't have to look like mine. You can make up your own. They could be different. But try to just use a Sharpie. So here I'm just making a square and then a circle inside and then a black dot. And when you use a Sharpie, you can't erase, but sometimes that's the fun of it. If you make a mistake, you can turn it into something else. Here's a nose. I'm just going to go down, over, and curve it around. And he's going to have a mouth curve with just some square, funny teeth coming out. With the windows, you can do square windows with a cross through them, or a T, so one line down, one line over. You can have long windows. You can have circle windows. So there's all different types of windows that you can do, small and big. And you're going to design each one of these differently. Now we're going to color these in. I'm using skinny markers and some crayons. You can use whatever you have at home. But a nice technique that works well with this project is to, again, go around your building that you want to color in with the marker first. And this is just to make the color pop a little bit. And then use that same color in a crayon or a colored pencil and color that in. So the big parts I would color in with crayon or colored pencil, just because markers sometimes get really streaky and it gets really scribbly when you try to use the marker for a big part of it. But for all the little details, you can use the skinny markers, you can use crayons, but it's nice to use a variety of different colors and a variety of different coloring tools, and that way some parts are darker, some are lighter. With the sky, I would also do that in the crayon. So I'm just gonna color in the stars with the marker. And I'm gonna get a black crayon because I'm doing the night sky. And I'll show you a quick way how to do that. Let me see if I can find my black. So when you're coloring the sky, you can put the crayon on its side, and that way it covers a lot more of the paper instead of just the point of it. And I would color really lightly. You don't want this super, super dark.